Have you ever heard of the phrase death by PowerPoint? It's a common way to signify how your audience are connecting with you during your presentation. So in death by PowerPoint, this is how your audience will look. You can guess worse to this or even this instead of this, which signifies connectivity with you during your presentation. Now, PowerPoint is one of the most popular software for presentations. It is part of the Microsoft Office suite and can be used for personal, business, or educational purposes. From beginners to professional speakers' perspectives, this software allows you to build your own presentations using texts, images, videos, and audios, and even tables of data. There are a variety of animations, transitions, and bunch of graphics that can help in delivering the presentation just the way the audience wants it. Remember, the slides are for them, not for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Rashid, a speech and presentation coach. I have used PowerPoint over the last 20 years to develop both academic and non-academic presentations. This course is designed for someone with relatively zero experience in PowerPoint. By the end of this course, you will learn how to open a PowerPoint from a template or a blank page, a very good example of a PowerPoint slide design, slide animations, slide transitions, slide design ideas, how to customize the ribbons in PowerPoint, saving and printing slides in different formats from JPG to PNG to PDF, drawing in PowerPoint slides, inserting video clips, inserting images, downloading and customizing free templates from tinyppt, how to use the SmartArt in Microsoft PowerPoint, how to create QR code in Microsoft PowerPoint, how to remove image background in Microsoft PowerPoint, how to adjust slide sizes and to design slides of different sizes, adding sections to PowerPoint, adding timer in PowerPoint presentations, creating video or subscriber count for your YouTube channel, 20 shortcut keys in Microsoft PowerPoint, taking screenshots in PowerPoint, top 5 PowerPoint add-ins that are free for your usage, creating animated GIF files, getting and using the PowerPoint free online, and lastly, learning the basics of the Microsoft Presenter Coach. Thank you for joining this course, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. So to start with, we can open the Microsoft PowerPoint by just coming to your start menu and just click on it, and then kickstart. Just type PowerPoint over here and you can see it over here. You just click and it is going to start opening. For your information, I'm using the latest Microsoft 365, which is the latest version. So beware of some of the key features that I'm going to be using. So beware that I'm using the latest version of Microsoft PowerPoint. So you can upgrade to that so that you can get the best benefit. Okay, so here we are on a new opening page. So you have the option to kickstart from a blank screen, blank slide over here, or you have the option to start from an existing template, different templates. You can see different templates, and you can see recent opened documents that you are working on PowerPoint. You can see them over here. You can see pinned documents over here, and you can see shared with me documents that were shared with you. You have the option to search from list of existing recent documents. From here you can easily search directly, or you can load the existing themes so that you can choose from the available ones. So let's say we click on load themes, and we can see a bunch of them suggested themes, but you have to be online to be able to have access to all this. So you can see all of them. These are suggested themes that you can customize to your liking. Anyone you feel like you are comfortable with and you can add value to your content, you can easily click and customize it. Click download it and customize it to your liking. Then we have other sub themes over here. We have presentations, we have themes, we have education, we have charts, we have diagrams, business, and infographics, and you can search more according to your content that you're trying to create. So let's try to open presentation at this point, and let's see the sample of existing templates that Microsoft PowerPoint has made for us. You can see them. There are quite a number of them, so you can just scroll down to see different kind of templates. For example, you may choose to work with this. Once you just click on it, it's just going to kickstart the opening, and you can see it over here. You can see a preview of it. So this is the size, about 4 point something megabyte. You can just click on create to open it, to download and open it. So this is it. It has downloaded, it has opened, and you can see some help menu over here to the right showing you how to edit the presentation, how to add pictures, how to add text and other things. Okay, but I will show you all this through this very simple method. Okay, so this is the first slide. You're free to customize it. You can use it on anywhere. Okay, you can customize the content. So this is slide 1, this is slide 2, this is slide 3, and so on. You can see them. Depending on your content, you can easily replace each and every one of them. For example, the title, you can just select it, click on it, and it will show the text box, and you can just select it and just change it accordingly. For example, we want to give a title, presentation mastery. Okay, so you can see it, and down here you just click and give another name, maybe by Dr. Rashid. So you can see you can easily edit any kind of content, and you can move it around as you so wish, but I think I prefer to leave it over here. And you can replace this image in cases when you have a better image that you want to put in. So all you need to do is to right click, and you can put on change picture. You can change the picture from a file, from stock images, from aligned sources, or from icons, or from a clipboard that you've copied somewhere. Okay, you can always go online and search for relevant images, and you can download and just use it. So for example, let's just go online and just download something. So let's say presentation. All right, so you can come over here to pictures, and you can see some of them. Okay, so assuming we want to pick on this one, and we just wait for it a little bit to finish downloading. Okay, so you can either just right click, copy the image. So now it's on your clipboard, just copied it. So you come over here, change picture, but then you save from clipboard. So you just paste, and you can see it has just pasted. Okay, so you can see it. You can resize very easily, or you can leave it as it is accordingly. So you can do the same for the next images. You can play around with the text boxes. You can bring in any other text that you want to replace with this. You can put this as maybe your introduction, depending on what kind of message you have. You can put it introduction, and you can play around with the key features. You can change coloration, you can change it to any color. You can play around and change it to any color of your choice, and you can change this one also to any color, and you can play around with all the text features, alignment features over here. You can do all that, and you can change accordingly according to your message. You can see most of the slides. You can easily customize them to your liking, add the text, and make them relevant to you. And this is a thank you message for this one. This is just to show you how to customize an existing template to suit your presentation, and then you can arrange it according to how you want it. So usually this very logo contour, I usually block it. You may not be able to kind of edit it at this point, but then what I used to do is I just select any shape, I just draw any shape, and I just copy it, or you can just drag it and cover it. So you may want to change the color of this covering that you've made. So all you need to do is to double click on the shape, and then you can come to shape and format over here. Make sure it's selected. You can come to shape fill, just click on shape fill, and you can come to eyedropper, just click on eyedropper, and you select anywhere around so that you can make sure that you pick the right color. So you can see it over here, it has covered it, but only that you have the line at the back. So you make sure you are on select a shape format as well, and then come back to shape fill, shape outline, and make sure you come to no outline. You just click on no outline, and you can see it has covered it. All right, so you can do the same for all the other text slides that you've found this very logo attached to it. So this is just how to change how to customize and create slides from a template. So you can just, once you're done, you can just kickstart your presentation and you can see it at full page. Okay? You can move from slide to slide, from page to page, just like so, very easily. Okay, so assuming at this point we have the images and we want to animate them. These are images that are relevant to these concepts, and we want to arrange them and bring them in and make the slides quite lively so that the viewers can see it appears very fantastic. So the first thing we need to pay attention to is which one comes first. Okay, so for example, at this point I would like this plane to come in first, and then it's going to come showcasing Nnamdi Azikiwe as growing into a city. So I just select this one. So at the beginning of the slide, this one remains just as the background of the study. It will just show as the background, but then I want this one and this to come together. So I hold the shift key and select both of them and make sure I'm on the animation pane over here. So once you are on the animation pane, from the home tab, you can come to animation tab, and then you can put a different kind of entrance. For example, I say fly in, and you can see a preview. You can fly in and you can change the effect option over here. You can fly from here, you know, look at the direction of the plane to fly from this angle, and it's going to bring in the text together. You can separate them if you want, but then this is how to bring in different kind of to fly in, or you can float in, or you can fade in, or you can just appear depending on what you want. Once you click, you are going to see the preview showing up. Okay, or you can do this one, the bounce setting. Okay, these are entrance features. You can do the bounce setting as well, which is quite good. But for this one, we're going to take in fly in, and we're going to take in this direction, not from below or from the sides over here, so that it appears as if it is flying. Yeah, so the next thing is we want to attach this text, challenges in operating sustainably, with this one. Okay, so we bring in this image inside to kind of close the plane, and it's going to come in with this text. Okay, so we select both of them with the shift key, and then we say fly in, and it's going to come in just like so. We change the direction, we can bring it in from this angle, and you can see it has just come in, operating challenges, and then you explain the concept. And then the last one is providing electrical energy security. So you bring in this inside and you now align it with this bullet. You select it, hold the shift key and select this one, and then you can easily fly them in together. Okay, and change the direction as well if you want to have it much more interesting. So you can see we have just gotten all of them in, and so let's try to play the slides from put it on slide mode and see what is going to happen. So while on slide mode, this is what comes first, which is the background, and once we click on our mouse, next is going to bring in the plane, and it's going to bring in the text together, which is Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport is growing into a city. Now if it's left for you, the participants now, to want to know more, then the next thing I'm going to bring in another point, and it's going to talk about the sustainability and challenges of operating a given airport with so many planes inside. How can it be sustainable? And then I'm going to talk about the challenges of electrical energy within the airport, what usually happens with this one coming in as a slide. Okay, so this is how to kind of present all the slides, and what you need to do is to make sure that in all the remaining slides you bring in all the relevant images and you can play them accordingly. Okay, so you can animate them accordingly. So this is how to animate the slides. On the next one also you do the same. So we can keep the background because this is like a continuation. So we have two images, this one and this one. So this one comes first and it's going to come in with this. So this one is going to come in separate. Sustainable energy has two pillars, so this is going to come in separate, so we just fly it in separately. And let's say it's going to come from this angle, and we can have energy efficiency coming in with this one, with this image, so they come together. Energy efficiency, so let's say we change the direction, you can come from this angle, from left. Okay, we can have renewable energy technology as selecting this and this, and we can fly in from another different angle. All right, so you can see them over here, and you can just select and make sure it overlaps or it closes this one, so you don't see it as it comes in. It closes everything. So let's try to have another slideshow. Let's see how it goes. Clicking on this or clicking on your F5 to start the slideshow, so you can see it. Background of the study continued. So the next thing is we talk about sustainable energy has twin pillars. The first one is the energy efficiency, which is represented by this image, and then the second one is the renewable energy technology, which is also represented by this image, which is quite fantastic. So it all boils down to you. What kind of image do you want, and what kind of and how is it going to represent your message? So you can join them together so that your image can look very, very fantastic. Alright, so this is animation, and this is how I have used everything to create all these slides. Okay, so you can see all the slides that I have created. I use the same technique for all of them. Okay, and I overlap, I bring in where necessary the correct slide for any kind of except the last slide, which I put as a thank you message. Okay, I use the swivel one. Okay, this is a swivel one. So if you look at it, it's going to, once I say I want to say thank you for listening, for your attention, you can see it. I use the wobble one. So all you need to do is to select it, make sure you are selecting it, and then you come to animation, and instead of the bounce bringing it, you can use a swivel, and that's what turns it just like so. So the next thing I want to show you is how to transit from slide to slide, from slide A to slide B to slide C to slide D, just like so, to make it much more better and interesting to your presentation. Also, in some cases during your presentation, some presenters or some organizations may not like you to put too much animation, so that you can sometimes they can be destructive. But then in cases when you don't have limit, it's good to put some transitions. So for example, now I want to go to transitions. Over here at the top ribbon, you can see transitions. So once you're on transition, you can easily put in anyone. You can put morph, or you can put shape, or you can do random bars. So by just selecting, you can see a preview of how it's going to be. Okay, so this is it, and it's going to go from the first slide. So let's say from the third slide, what happens? So let's say push, you can see it's going to move just like so to the next slide, or you can do wipe, and it's going to move just like that to the next slide, or you can do split, it's going to split, or you can do reveal, or you can do cut or random bars, which sometimes also makes sense. You can do shape as well. So once you put this, you want to see the effect, you can just click on this slide view, you can see the effect. And when you want to you can show your first slide, second image, and then when you want to transit to the next slide, that's when you see the effect as well. So you can put it, let's say this one will put this shape. Okay, you can see a preview, and then let's say this one will put a cover. You can see cover, it comes and cover the next one. So you can go to the next slide, you can click on the drop down, and you can see a bunch of them. You can put fracture, which I like sometimes. You can come to the next slide, and on transiting to the next slide, let's make it a curtains. Okay, curtains, you can see how it opens very nicely during your presentation. So when you're going to aim up an objectives, it's going to open just like so. And sometimes I like this crush, so you go to the next slide and still on transition, and you can just click on, and you can just make sure the slide is selected, and you can just click on crush, and it's going to crush everything and throw it away just like so. Okay, so you can go to the next slide, and you can put in something like origami. Okay, origami or airplane also makes sense. Okay, just going to go just like so. So let's have a preview of it and see what we are talking about. So on this slide, you can just go to the slide mode, and you can see when you are moving, you can bring in your slide, you can bring in the second slide and the third concept. When you're moving to the next slide, that's when the effect takes in, and you can bring into the next slide, next concept, and then when you're moving to the next slide, that's when the effect comes in. Okay, cover just comes in just like so, and then the next thing is breaking. Okay, ice break or something, and then the next one is going to come. This is the image. Once you finish, it's going to be the next one, which is the curtains that we've just shown. So it's going to open to the next slide just like so. Okay, so you click and continue with your arrangement. You can explain the concept, and now when you are going to the next slide, you can see the transition is this squeeze, and throw it away. Okay, and then the last one or the next one also the same. You are explaining the concept and then it takes into the next slide. So this is how easy it is to use the transitions in PowerPoint slide. So just make sure to learn how to use it. As you just select, come over to transition and select any kind of transition, and it's allow you to kind of work on it very easily. And you have other options over here, effect options. You can check where do you want the slide to start from, the transition to start from. Is it from left, is it from top, is it from right, or is it from top right? You can change all these as you transit from one slide to another. Okay, so that's about transitions and animations on PowerPoint slides. Now I want to introduce you to design ideas. Okay, design ideas actually is just an AI thing that uses what you have as a content to be able to design something that can suit your text or can suit your message. So you feel free to select it and use it as your own idea, or you can customize it and use it as your own slide. Okay, so once you have a given slide, you maybe have this slide and you have this written background of the study, and then you have this image and you want to test the design ideas. All you need to do is to come over to your home tab and go straight to the top right, and you see this design ideas designer. You just click on this and it's going to browse based on what you have to give you an idea of some slides that can fit in your content. Like you can see this first one, you can see the second one, and you can see them so much using that particular image and this very right up. Okay, so you are free to select on anyone, and if you are not satisfied with all this, you can click on see more design ideas and it's going to bring in more design ideas for you. Okay, so assuming I want to go with this, so once you select, it's going to bring it in and it's going to take this as the first one and this one as and it's going to design everything for you in this way. Or if you don't want, you can still check and find any other one that you feel like it can help you to send your message in a much better way. So maybe if you are going, you can show more ideas, and if any one of them befits your content, you can just click on it and you can see how it has transformed everything, and then you can put in your content. So basically the design ideas is to give you some fresh touch and concept from based on the AI or the artificial intelligence on what you have as your content. Is going to redesign it for you into something much more meaningful that you can bring in other ideas to work on. So the next thing I want to share with us is how to actually customize our ribbon over here and the looks of it. Everything you see over here can be customized. What appears on the home tab and all the other features that you see over here, the draw tab or the insert tab and everything, you can easily enable all of them or disable them accordingly from this very technique that I want to show you. So all you need to do, if you want to customize the ribbons and the content of it, you just come anywhere on the ribbon, just right click and you say customize the ribbon over here. So you just click on it and you can just see all the available ones. Okay, you can see them from here, and you can see the ones that are available on the main tab. You can see them from here. This is the home tab, and this is the insert tab. Once you click on this, you can see all the other concept under the insert tab, what you can add, what are in existence. Okay, you have slides, we have tables, we have images, we have illustrations, we have add-ins, and we have down to media. And then you can minimize this and you can see on the draw tab, this is what you have. On the design tab, this is what you have. Just now we've explained transitions, you can see them, animations, you can see them. So you're free to customize anything that you want. Okay, so you can right click and change the position. You can move it up, or you can rename it, or you can move it down accordingly, and it's going to be moved down or up accordingly. So assuming you have highlighted something and you want to bring it into the main tabs, okay, you can bring it into the main tab. So you can come back here to choose the commands from here. So usually what you see, you can come to popular commands, or you can just click on this drop down and you can see all commands and you see everything that is contained in Microsoft. So depending on what concept you want to bring in, you can just select, just move around and see what you can bring in at any given point that you want. So you just keep scrolling, You can see some that are in existence and some that are not. You can easily bring them in. Okay, so for example, I want to put in any kind of thing that I want to bring from here to this point. For example, I want to put in this contrast, and I have to select where I want to put it. For example, over here, and I may want to put it under the design tab over here. So once you need to put it under design, you can create a group design tab over here and say new group, and it's going to create a new group under the design tab. Now you can rename the group and put in any kind of symbol to it, for example this one, and then we can give it a name. Okay, so all you need to do is to put contrast over here. You select this custom, okay, and it's type and its name contrast. So all you need to do is select that particular feature and say add to this, and it's going to come under contrast. Okay, so once you come to contrast, you can see it over here. So once you are done adding all the features that you want to bring into the main tabs, you can just close on this. But this gives you the opportunity to add anything. So for example, you can see this added the create PDF menu on the home ribbon, and if you come to design tab over here, you can see the contrast over here that we've just added. So feel free to kind of try it and explore and see how you can customize the ribbons. But this is how to bring in any kind of feature and to disable any kind of feature that you don't want to see on the ribbon. Alright, so in this part of the tutorial, I want to share with us how to save the document, okay, as a PowerPoint and as a PDF document for you to easily send it to someone and can access it very easily, and as a PNG folder or JPG folder so that you can have it as an image also to be shared with others if you so wish. Okay, so to start with, let's try to save it as a PPT. So all you need to do is to come to file over here, and you can come to save as, and you can see PowerPoint presentation.pptx. Specify the name and presentation, so you can just give it a name. This is going to be in PowerPoint, so you just click on save, and you have saved it in PowerPoint. So you can always click on it to open back, and you can continue editing your PowerPoint from there. The next saving format is you can print this as a PDF. So you can either come to save as, or you can either come to save as, or you can come to print. You can do both ways. Okay, let's say from save as, and you can check on the drop down over here, and you can see PDF over here. So you see that PDF, and it's going to be on the same location. Once you click on save, it's going to save the entire slides on PDF and can open it for you to have a glance and have an idea of how it's going to look like. Okay, so it has finished saving it, so you can easily navigate to that particular folder and see it for yourself. Okay, so you can see it over here, PowerPoint presentation, PowerPoint tutorial 1 in PDF, and you can see it over here in PowerPoint. You can do the same, like I said, using the same file and then print in this time around. So you can specify, I usually select my Nitro PDF Creator as the printer. So you can select any printer option if you want. If you have any PDF reader, Foxit Phantom PDF printer also can. And you can just select the printer, and you can specify the features like the settings from here, slides, pages, and everything. Once you click on print, it's going to still print in that format that we've just shown, and it's going to save it just like that. And you can see the preview. You can just navigate to see the preview as well. So that's how to save it. Now I want to show you how to save all in JPEG or in PNG. Same way, you still file, you can say save as, you can select the format. You can just come to either JPEG or the PNG. You can save all these very easily. So but at this point, I want to share with you how to save this particular page in PNG. From all the number of slides that we have, I just want to save just this one in PNG. So all you need to do is to come to file, click on save as, and you come all the way down here and say PNG, and then specify the location and say maybe this is sustainability, and you can just click on save, and you're going to see this pop up to which slides do you want to export. So I just want just this one, which means the current slide that I was on. Okay, so just this one will just export this particular slide only. So let's go back to that folder and see if we can see that slide, and you can see it over here, sustainability. You just click and you can see it as an image, and it's only this very slide. So this is how to save slides or the presentation as a whole in PDF or in PPT or in JPEG in the same way. You can save it just like so. Let's try to save it in JPEG also. It's the same procedure. You can still do the same. Just come off to file, save as, and you specify JPEG, and you specify, maybe you give it sustainability too, and then you specify same location. You click on save, and then this time around it's going to be in JPEG. Okay, so once you're back, you can see it. This is sustainability too, and this is in JPEG format. Alright, the next thing is I want to share with you how to use the drawing tool in Microsoft PowerPoint. So if you cannot find your drawing tool over here, all you need to do is to come over to anywhere within the ribbon, right click, and you can just come to customize the ribbon, and you can check it around. If you can't find the draw over here, you just check and come to popular commands and say all commands, and then you can find drawing over here. Okay, you can just check on draw. Okay, so you can see draw over here, and you can add it to the main tab, and it's going to come up over here. For my own, I already have it, so no need to add. So all you need to do to start drawing on your Microsoft PowerPoint is to come to draw option over here, and you have the selecting tool, you have the lasso tool, you have the cleaner that you can use to erase, or the eraser that you can use to erase anything. For example, you write on with this pen, and you can easily use the eraser to erase it. Okay, you can write with different kind of pen. You can always come back here. You can write with different kind of pen, but whatever pen you select, you can see it is now deselected. But you can come over here and choose different kind of thickness of the pen. You can select different kind of thickness, and you can bring in more thickness as well if you want, and you can select different kind of colors, and you can come to more colors to customize it accordingly. So once I select this color, you can see it changes to that color, and you can see it over here. So you can just kickstart your drawing. So once you're starting, you can use the eraser and erase it. Okay, or you can use another different point. This is red pen 0.5 mm. Just click on it, and you have also the same other thickness and colors as well that we can play around with. So once you're starting, you selected this one, you can see it's selected. You can just write, and you can put in anything you want. You can use the marker as well. You can see the marker thickness and the coloration also. You can just select, and once you select it, you can see you can easily mark things accordingly. You can use the ruler also if you want. You can position it to any angle, and you can use the pen to use the ruler as a guide to draw anything within your document or within your Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, you can have ink to text, in that you can write anything. For example, you can write x squared. Let's say we write x cube, and we can use the lasso tool, and we can just select it, everything like that, and we say ink to math. Okay, you can say ink to math, and you can see it's converted to x3 or x cube. Okay, so you can do everything. You can do replay also if you want. You can just use it, and you can do ink to shape in cases when you have ink to shape. So for example, I select this one, and I want to just draw a very simple tool, a very simple shape. For example, maybe a rectangle. I just draw this, and I use the lasso tool as well to just select everything, and then I do ink to shape, and you will see it has been converted to a rectangle. So this is very interesting and very easy to you can use to kind of convert to any shape, or you can use your ink to convert it to something else. You can replay also to see how the conversion is for all of them, and you can see it very easily. So it's very easy to use, and it's a very cool feature that you can use to explain your slides as you present to your audience. Okay, so now I want to share with us how to insert a video in Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so to insert a video, all you need to do is to come to that particular slide, and then you can come all the way to the top of the ribbon and come to insert, and you have different kind of options. The first is you can insert a picture, you can insert screenshot, and if you move a bit down, you can see at the bottom here you can insert a video, what's from this device, from stock videos or from online videos, anyone. So let's say I'm inserting from this device, and I'm just coming to my videos, and I'm going to intro over here, and you can click and you can see this intro video. You select it and just say insert, and it's going to insert it just like so into the PowerPoint slide. And you can see the design idea is giving me an idea of some of the little designs that may make the video appear professional and much better. You can click to see more, and you can see different kind of designs. So let's say I go with something like this, and you can easily click over here to kickstart. So how do you want this to be on a particular slide? So let's close on this, and let's try to play around with this, so that once you get to the next slide, on coming to the next slide, this is going to start playing automatic. So once you select the video, you can see the video format over here, and you can see a bunch of other features that you can play around with as regards this particular video. You can edit different kind of things, video shape, video border, video effects. You can play around with all these and see how you can put in shadow and put in reflection, glow, and all that. You can play around with all this. And video styles, you can change everything, poster frame, reset design, color, and corrections. You can change all these by mere hovering over it. You can see the preview from the video itself. So what you need to do is to check the playback option, so that you can say at what point should it play. You can start in click sequence. So once you're moving, you can check and you see automatically, or when clicked on. You can start the video when clicked on, or you can start it on in click sequence. So as you are clicking and moving around in your PowerPoint presentation, as you click to the next slide, is going to start playing the video automatic. Okay, so you can click on it and it's going to start playing the video automatic. This is at the playback option. You have the option to loop until stopped. You can loop the video to keep playing until it is stopped, and you can rewind after playing if you so wish. You can choose on this, and it's going to rewind after playing. You can insert captions. You can increase or decrease the volume accordingly. You can make it high, low. You can mute it if you so wish, and you can change the fade-in duration from where it should start and from where should it end. You can trim the video accordingly. You can do that. You can add bookmarks to the video, and you can play it directly from here. So there's quite a lot of things that you can do. You can play it in full screen, or you can hide while not playing. You can hide the video, or do quite a number of things. So feel free to try it. So but for now, we're going to go with in click presentation. So for example, from the previous slide, once you are on slideshow mode, you want to go to the next slide, it's going to start presenting, or it's going to start playing immediately. So let's click and see. So click. So this is actually how to bring in a video into the PowerPoint slide, and this is how to arrange it and play around with some of these features for you to maximize the use of the PowerPoint and make it much more impactful. Okay, the next thing is I want to share with you how to insert an image into your slide. So all you need to do is come to this slide, right click on it and say new slide, and you can just see a fresh blank slide. So you want to insert an image into this. So all you need to do is just come to the top of the ribbon, come to insert, and you can come to the pictures over here. You just click on this. You can bring it from this device, or from stock images, or from online images. We've tried to brought in this from this device at a later time. For now, let's try to bring in from stock images. So just click on stock images and make sure you're online, and then this is going to go online to find some of the key images, and you can search directly if you so wish, and then you can click on anyone and bring it in. So you have different kind of categories. You have icons, you have cutout people, you have stickers, you have videos, you have illustrations, you have cartoons, and you have different kind of sub features also over here, sciences and all that. So you feel free to just select anyone and just bring it in. So for example, if I'm looking at something that has to do with science or research or something, or tech or something, you can select a number of them and you can see them over here, and you can just insert very easily into your presentation. You can see the pictures will be downloaded, one of 3, and all the 3 pictures will be downloaded and will paste for you in your content. So once they've been pasted, you can see their original videos. You can feel free to click out and then you can click on them. You can minimize the sizing and you can resize them and play around with them accordingly. So just remember that each and every image that you click, you will see the picture formatting over here, and you have the option to use all these features like the cropping, like the height and width. You can play around with them. You can bring in forward and backward, or you can arrange the selection pane where the image is going to appear. You can play around with the picture border. You can play around with the picture style. How is it going to be? You can see a bunch of styles that you can use and change accordingly depending on what you are targeting as regards your picture, so that it can look much more professional and so on. You can see them. All right, so this is picture style. This is compressed pictures, change picture, reset picture. You can change the correction, color correction, and remove background if you so wish. These are features that you have direct access to once you bring in any image into your PowerPoint. So this is how to bring in images, and this is how to manipulate the images and change the key features from those images. At this point, I want to share with you how to download a template, very interesting template, and customize it on your PowerPoint slides to make it look much more professional, so that the next time you speak, you're going to speak from a very professional look, and you will sound interesting and you look interesting as well because of your slides. So one very good website that I usually download my slides is the tinyppt. You can see it over here, tinyppt.com. It's a very fantastic website. You can just have access to it, although some of the features or some of the slides are paid, but then you can do quite a lot with the free versions. You can download free templates and use them accordingly. So this is where you download free infographic, brochure, and newspaper. Okay, you can download everything and just categorize. You can search for a template. You have you have the trending ones, you have number, you have vintage, you have triangle, and many more. So feel free to try it. You can come also, you can see intro, you can see infographics from different angles depending on your message and what kind of content do you have. You can easily walk over here, download the content, and go back to your PowerPoint and customize it. Okay, so let's say we're going with some of the popular templates. You can see all of them are free over here. So all you need to do is just to select a given template. For example, this one, I've just selected it, so you can see it's going to come up. All right, so once you have it over here, so you can check around to see other related ones. Okay, there are a bunch of them over here. So all you need to do is to come over here and click on free download. Authentication may be required. Just click on download, and you can see it over here. It's just downloaded. Okay, so you can see the downloaded folder over here. You just double click to open it. All right, so assuming I want to translate, or I want to move this, or I want to convert this from this plain outline of my presentation into something interesting and enticing. So all I need to do from the template that I have just downloaded is to come back to the template. So let me look at where I'm coming from. I need an outline describing about me, education, motivation, 7 strategies, and stage fright. So I come back to the downloaded templates, and you can just customize this. So what I usually do, sometimes I click and then I just delete this image, and then I bring in something like a text box. I bring in a text box, I just click on it here and I start writing. So I'll just put it outline, right, and select it and change the coloration to something like this and try to increase the size and try to bold it. Right, I have it as an outline, and then we can go ahead and change here for graphics. So this is going to be about me. and I can increase the text box from here as well. The next one is it's going to be what? Education motivation 7 strategies. So the next one is education. Increase it a little bit. Next is motivation, and increase it a little bit. Next is 7 strategies. All right, and just increase it a little bit. Right, you can always click. Next is what? Stage fright. Right, you can click and you can extend it a little bit. Okay, you can bring it in a little. The same way also you can just bring it in. So if you like, you can put numberings to this infographics. To replace infographics, you can put numbering. For example, you can put 1, 2, 3, or you can just remove it just like that. So you just select and delete it. All right, you can select, centralize it. So you can centralize, you can select, delete infographics and centralize education. Select, delete infographics and centralize motivation. Select also and delete the infographics and centralize 7 strategies, and then you can do the same over here. So you can see now it's very clear, right? So once I finish arranging the templates, I finish customizing with my content, I will try to put some animation so that it can become much more better. So I'm talking about outline over here. Okay, so what I usually do is to come to the animation tab and then I select everything. Okay, make sure I select everything, including the flowers, including this small line, and then I can put it to fly in. You see, not everything is selected, but then we can select everything one more time. Okay, make sure you select everything. At some point you have the option to, okay, I think everything's selected, so you can just fly it in. You can see, fly in, and you can change the direction at this point. You can change the direction to fly from this angle. And this is about me. Now you go to education, so you select everything. Be sure to just select everything just like so, and just include the line, and you can fly it in also from this angle, and you can see it very nicely. And the next is you make sure you select everything as well, and then you hold the shift key and select this angle, and you can fly it in as well from this direction. I think it kind of looks much better. Okay, so next is we select this one, select everything, hold the shift key, select this last one, and then fly it in from this angle. All right, and then you have the last one, which is stage fright. You just select everything. Okay, make sure you capture everything. All right, and then hold the shift key and select the last one and fly it in. You can see it, let's say from that angle it's okay. Okay, so you can see now we have everything. So what I usually do at the beginning is I used to remove this write-up by tinyppt. So all you need to do to remove this is to right click on the slide and come to format background. Okay, and you can just come all the way here and say hide background graphics. You just click and it's going to hide it just like so. Okay, you enable it, it's back. You disable it and you enable this, you can see it has removed the background graphics. Okay, so you can apply to all if you want. Okay, you can apply and you can close this, and now it's a plain text. So after putting the animation, let's try to play it and see what we can see in our presentation. So let's say we click, and I want to talk about the outline of my presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Now the next thing that I'm going to talk about is about me. Okay? It's about me, and I tell them my school, tell them what I'm going to do, and then the next thing I want to talk about is about my education, and next thing I want to talk about is about my motivation, why I'm doing public speaking and why I am seeing it as the future of the soft skills. And then next thing is I'm going to talk about the 7 strategies to deliver an effective speech or presentation. And then lastly, I'm going to share with you some key steps on, or key tips and tricks on how to manage stage fright. I think this kind of looks cool and fantastic as regards the conversion, the customizing of the template and using it with some animations to present excellent presentation. Okay, so the next thing is how to use the SmartArt to arrange your document, to arrange your PowerPoint slide to make it much more professional and interesting. So assuming I have this organizational chart of my club, Kinta Valley Toastmasters Club, and I need to make a very simple organizational chart with this. PowerPoint can help me to design this. So all I need to do is to come to insert menu over here. You can come to SmartArt over here. So there are a bunch of different things that you can do with SmartArt. At this point, choose a SmartArt graphic. At this point, you can see all the graphics over here. You can select depending on what kind of concept or what kind of idea you want to portray using this very SmartArt. So you can see lists. Okay, you can list items accordingly directly. You can see them. Okay, this is process. You can check around processes, step 1, step 2, step 3 up to step 10. You can keep adding on what you want to add, and then you can have circle. You have different kind of things that you may want to showcase in the circular form, or you can use the gear icon to showcase that. You can have hierarchy. This is my own case when I have to devise or design the hierarchy or the organizational chart using this. And you have relationship between 2 objects or thereabout. You can see them. You can have matrix, you can have pictures, and you can have office.com where you have other subsets of things. So let's say we are going for hierarchy, and I'm going to select any one of them. Assuming I'm going with this, I just want to select this and I say okay, and it's going to bring in all this. Okay, so you have the text to edit accordingly. So what you need to do is to start by typing the president's name, for example, at the top over here. So you can start typing immediately, or you can look around at the top over here. You have the SmartArt design where you can customize everything to your liking. You can check on this and you can customize it to your liking. So let's say we can have something like this or something like this. You can just easily play around with the content. You can even make it slides in 3D format, or you can change it to be in this format as well as this format if you so wish, depending on what kind of design you have. You can change the theme of the whole thing. As you can see, a number of themes that you can play around with. Okay, so depending on what kind of palettes or color palettes you are targeting. So let's say we go with something like this. I think it kind of looks cool. So the first one is Dr. Rashid, which is the president. Okay, so we have the vice president, which is going to be Idris. Okay, so assuming I duplicate this slide and I can remove this one from here, I can easily remove, and I can bring up this one. So you have some options. The next is the vice president. So you can come over here and and delete this one. You can see have vice president Idris J. So you just put in vice president Idris J. Okay, and next on the line we have people like the secretary J journalist. You can just come over here and you can decide to play around with this. Okay, you can just click and you can add someone, okay, by just making sure that this is selected, and to show that you can add a shape. You can add at the bottom. You can enable or disable the text pen. You can add a shape and you can move it to anywhere you want. We can move to the right, you can move down, you can promote. Okay, you can promote someone, to be the president or vice president. So for example, at this point we can move to the left. Okay, you can move left or right, and you can see you can move Idris left or right. So let's say at this point we have Idris here, and then down here we have J Journalist as a secretary. You can decide to move J up. You can move her up to this place, and then we have Peter as a treasurer, and then we have another one we have is Shariza Sunita. Okay, and so we may want to have another one, so you can easily from here click on enter to add. You can have Jasper, and you can see the arrangement and all that. So once you are back, you can add a shape somewhere. For example, from here you can add a shape, and it's going to come down here, and you can add anybody if you want. So let's go back and check. So we want one person that we are looking for is Vice President Public Relations, Daruna. So we can come back to the same slide and just double click, and we can add him from here, Daruna, and you can see he's the Vice President Public Relations. But you may want to move him up a little bit. Okay, so you want to promote him as well, so demote a little so that he can come and join these lines. Okay, depending on how you want to put it, you can easily edit and customize this to your liking. So once you're done, you can click it, you can click out, and you can see the arrangement very nicely done. This is Idris Jai. If you want to put in their ranks, you can also do that. Okay, all you need to do is to just make sure you insert the ranks very easily. You can come and insert text boxes, and you can put them over here. You can just make them a small president. Okay, select it and make it a little bit smaller, and then you can put it over here just like so, and you can select this and press it and then drag it, so you can put the names, for example secretary, right? So you can see the arrangement. You can do the same as well for the others. And you can see now everything is complete. So it all boils down to you how you want it to appear. You can decide to play around with the concept. Once you click, you can play around with the features. You can just bring in smart design. You can play around with this. You can check the convert option. You can convert to text, convert to shapes if you so wish, and you can check around the styles. You can change accordingly, and you can change the themes, and you can edit also accordingly according to your liking. And you have different kind of other features also from the theme. You can check and see a preview of how you might want it to be. You can easily check different layouts and change it accordingly. So this is how to design this organizational chart. You can do that for any other chart that you may have and arrange them accordingly. For example, you're on Microsoft PowerPoint and you want to bring in the QR code. All you need to do is to come over to insert, and you can go directly to get add-ins. Actually, it requires an add-in to be able to do this. So you click on get add-ins, and it will bring you over to this store. Okay, so make sure you're on this store, and then you can come over to the search bar here. You can just search QR and it will come up with this QR for Office. Okay, so once you have this QR for Office, all you need to do then is to add it to your add-ins, and then it will bring you this license and agreement. So you just click on OK, continue, and it will bring you over here where you can have the QR for Office. So this is where you can actually do all your inserting. You can come over here. If you come to this drop down, you can see you can put in different kind of links, from a web page to a secured web page, to an email address, to telephone, to SMS, to graphic locations, or even custom. You can customize to anything that you want. Okay, so once you are certain which address you want, for example, I want people to get to epicmentorship.org. So once you are done, it will generate the code for you, and down here you can change the coloration. If you don't want that particular color, you can change it. You can change it to any color of your choice. and you can change the background as well to any color, right? So but I think white is doing a good job, so we leave it there. And you can increase the size of it. You can decide to increase or decrease the size as you so wish. This is the error correction in 15%. You can lower it or increase it if you want. So once you're done, you're satisfied with it, you can click on insert and it will insert it to your document just like that, and it will function perfectly. It's scannable by any QR scanning device. You can scan it anywhere. I use the remove background option from the Microsoft PowerPoint. So all I need to do is to double click on the image, and I have this picture format displayed directly. Now what I used to use is this last one, which says remove background. And once I click on it, it's going to select the entire image and bring in this magenta color around it. Now it's left for me to select the areas that I want to remove or I want to keep. It's going to remove the areas in the magenta color, and it selects part of my body as areas that it's going to remove. So for me to correct this, I have to select or mark the areas that I want to keep. So I select on this, I click on this, and then I come over and just create a line to tell it that yes, I need to keep on all these places. And by just dragging the line, I can tell the computer that all these places I want to keep, and it will automatically sync and look for places that look similar to this place, and it will keep those places for me. And I can see at the top of my cap that I want to also keep those ones because it's going to remove it. So I can just click on it a little bit, and it's going to select and keep my cap. So you can just select again to this side just to showcase that I want to really keep this place. Once you're done selecting and you make sure that all the places are selected, you come over here and say keep changes, and it's going to select it just like that. And if you look around now, there are some edges like towards my ear that's not fully removed. So we can come back, double click on it again and come back to remove images, and we can see it from here. There's a little bit of shadow here that is not removed, so we can just keep marked areas to remove, and we'll come over here and we'll mark this directly down slowly just for it to get it. And we can click on select this area, and we can see it gives us a good job. But then we can see by the side here it gave us another place maybe. Okay, so over here we need to remove this small inclusion, so we can just click on this and say remove this whole place. We don't want it. And once we're done, we click on keep changes, and we have our image without the background. So to confirm this, we can come over here and right click and set background image, and then click on background, format background, and we can put in gradient, and you can see now that it's clear that we don't have a background to our image. And the same thing goes to the last one that we just changed. We can equally change the format background, and we can put in some gradient, and we can see that the background of our image has been removed completely. So this is the easiest way I follow to remove the background from my images, maybe for my thumbnails and other usage. In this section of the tutorial, I want to share with you how to add sections to your PowerPoint slide. So if you add sections to your PowerPoint slides, it makes your work kind of very easy to navigate across and to look much more professional and better. Okay, during your presentation, it will be very easy for you to navigate across the presentation slides, across sections, and you can easily rearrange slides across sections and across the whole document. So creating sections actually kind of make the slides look much more fantastic and professional and easy to navigate around, and ease of sending information while you present, while you deliver your presentation. So assuming we want to consider this very slide, okay, you can see it's not just many slides, it's just about 9 slides. So let's say we want to classify the first 3 slides as introduction, okay, the second 3 slides as main body, and the last 3 slides as conclusion. To add sections to slides, first of all, let's try to look at how it's going to benefit us when we add a slide. So this is a normal slide. This is a normal view. When you come down to the bottom here, this is the normal view that we have. You can change this slide view to the list view, where you can see the slides arranged in a list form. You can click again to bring them back to the normal view, and then you can close the notes if you want. This is a normal view where you just click on a slide and you can see a preview over here at this canvas. Okay, and you can click on the next one, you can see it preview over here. The next item to the right is a slide sorter. So once you click on that, it's going to give you the entire view of the whole presentation, and you can click on any slide, double click on any slide to open it. So the slide sorter gives you an idea of the entire slides, and then you can click accordingly and then you navigate around. So very easy to have a general preview of the entire presentation, and then you can move as you wish, depending on maybe a question is being asked or you want to move to a particular slide from one slide. It's very easy, right? We'll see the basic advantage. Now we'll go back to normal slide, and then you can go to the beginning, and then at this point we would like to start by adding sections. So let's say we want to add the first section at the second slide. Let's right click on this, add a section, and call it Researcher. You can see once you rename, you see it is called Researcher, and by default it adds the first section at the top over here. So you have the option to just right click and rename this section, and maybe you call it Introduction. Okay, and just click on rename, and this picks an introduction as your first slide. So you can go to the third one. For example, this is vary your sources, so we can just right click and maybe add a section here. Maybe we call it sources. Okay, rename, and then we can come down here and take this one, right click, and then we can add, maybe organize your research. We can call this add a section, and then we can call it maybe conclusion. All right, we rename. Now we have up to about 4 sections easily. And one thing you should pay attention to is you can navigate, you can change the slides accordingly. You can rearrange the slides as you move from one within a section. You can rearrange them. Maybe the first one can be the last one, or the last one can be the first one. Easy to rearrange, and you can move your slides also to the next section. If you are certain with that, you can move the slides across sections as well. So it's very easy. Now let's look at the advantage of this that we've just done. What we have just done is we have easily simply created sections to these entire slides. So when you come to the top left over here, or far left over here, you can see we have a small collapse section. Okay, you can just click and it's collapsed. You can click and it's collapsed. You can click and it's collapsed. You can click and it's collapsed, and it makes our slides very easy to navigate across, because you can see at the introductory stage how many slides do we have, at the sources stage how many slides, and if we want to edit any section, we just come to the section, click on the arrow, and it gives us those particular slides, and we can just easily edit them accordingly and work as a whole. Once we are done with that slide, we can just click on it to collapse it. So another thing is we can come to the same slide sorter view, and we can see the way it has arranged everything. This is slide sorter view, and when we go back and maybe uncollapse everything, we can say we open all the sections, right, and we have the total 9 slides. When we come back to the slide sorter view, you can see the way it has arranged the same way. It has arranged it in the introduction, researcher, and you can see the sources, and you can see the conclusion. It has arranged it according to the sections as well. And this one also, you can play around with the slides. You can rearrange the slides also across sections, or across within sections, or across a section. It's very easy. You can do all that. One of the key and most important thing I would like to show us today is the function of zoom. Why we add these sections is to make our slides look much more professional. But then let me share with you a very fantastic key feature that only the people with Microsoft Office 365 subscription can have this very feature. But it's very fantastic and interesting, and it can make your work excellently connect better with your audience. So that feature is called the zoom feature. So to access the zoom feature, all you need to do is to start by coming to the insert button over here, and you can come all the way to this zoom feature. You just click on this small drop down, and you can see the summary zoom, section zoom, and the slide zoom. Okay, so you can click on the summary zoom at this point, and you can see each section is ticked, and is marked. The blue lines marks the beginning of each section. So you can see the beginning each section. You can change it if you want, but at this point I think we can just go with the default one that has been selected, and we'll click on insert. And this insert a summary section at the top here. You can rename it if you want. You can change the position also if you want. You can leave it at the top, or you can bring it after the introduction. So what this means is when you enter the presentation mode, it becomes very easy to navigate across sections. So let's try to enter presentation mode to see a very simple example. So at this point, let's say we are starting at the introduction. We click on the presentation mode and we go to the summary page. So at the summary page, you can click on each slide and it will navigate to that slide. So just click on each slide and you can see how it zooms in to that particular slide. And once it finishes that section, it zooms out. Okay, it goes back to the next section, and you can click on the next one and it's going to bring you to that slide, and you can go to the next slide within that section, go to the next slide within that section, and then it will zoom out. Okay, clicking next again will bring you to the next section, and then you can go to the slides within that section, within that section, within that section, within that section, and then it will zoom out and then take you to the last section, okay, which is the fourth section, which is the conclusion section. So you can see it zooms in within the section, it goes to the next slide and then to the next slide, and once it is done, it comes out and back to the summary page. So this is very easy to kind of arrange all your work in one very slide, and then you can navigate across all the slides accordingly. So this is basically one of the key advantages of adding a section. You can do the same also on the zoom feature. You can do section zoom, you can do slide zoom also if you want. It's very easy. You can just give it a try. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a bit about how to add sections and utilize the zoom feature with the sections to enhance the professionalism of your PowerPoint presentation. So in this video, I want to share with you how to change the sizes of your PowerPoint slides. Usually the custom slide size that comes with most versions of our PowerPoint is the widescreen size. Okay, this is usually the custom size. In some cases, you may find different sizes, but you're free to kind of edit it to your liking, depending. What do you want to use these slides for? Are you using it to deliver a presentation on people's computer? Maybe you are delivering a presentation within a lab, a computer lab, where everyone has access to a computer and they can watch you, or we are delivering it virtually so that people watch you from their screen at home, or you are delivering the presentation on a projector so people have to be in the classroom or in the theater to watch you present. So all these have their own. Are you delivering, or are you planning to deliver a presentation on a television so that your slides can fit in this television or thereabout, or you're planning to deliver a presentation on people's phone so people can use their phone to watch you, or you want to design a slide so people can share on their phones and watch easily. All these have their own. They come in different kind of sizes, and understanding what kind of size precisely you want to work with can actually help you in delivering or in making a very fantastic presentation or PowerPoint slide that can fit into your content easily and effectively. So for today, we are going to take a look at the way to change the size to custom size, or to different size, or to sizes that are already inbuilt within Microsoft PowerPoint. So to start with, once you open your document, you can see right now this one is set to the wider size. You can come all the way to the design over here, and what you can see is you just come all the way to size, to slide size at the top right here. So you can see slide size, and clicking on this small arrow, you can see there are two sizes: standard size, which is 4:3, and widescreen size, which is 16:9. This usually fits most of our screen, computer screen, and many more. But then if you want to go with the standard size, automatically it's going to change the content of your slide. So let's say we are going with standard size, and it gives you two options. Do you want to maximize the content so it can become much more visible? But then it comes with some repercussions, because it can cut out some part of it, and maybe some part of the slide or some part of the text. You may miss some of them. Or you want to maximize it and ensure that it fits to the content. The slide fits to your content, which is usually one of the best. I usually go for it, and you can see as soon as I select, it easily converts my slides, my whole slides, not just this first one, to this standard size. You can easily bring it back to your widescreen size if you want, by just clicking on widescreen size again one more time. Notice that it has tempered a little bit with my content. Okay, it has tempered a little bit with the content. The way I designed it is not actually the way it is, so just take note that moving from one size to another can come with some repercussion in terms of your content. So you may have to do one or two things to play around with the content. So what I actually advise is to continuously learn how to use the undo button or Ctrl+Z, which is quite better in terms of bringing back the size to the actual one. So if you want to practice, or you want to try changing the sizes of your slide, be sure to learn how to use the do and redo and undo part, so that you can easily get back to where you are, just like I have done on mine just right now. Okay, so you have a bunch of options, you have different kind of options. So you can even come back to the slide size, and instead of the standard or the widescreen size, you can also come to custom slide size. And when you click on this custom slide size, you will be prompted with this dialog. So you have widescreen size, so depending on what kind of screen are you targeting to deliver your presentation or to send in your slides for presentation. In addition to the widescreen size, when you click on this drop down, you can see the on-screen show, which is 4:3. You can see letter paper size, which is 8.5 by 11 inches. You can see ledger paper size, you can see A3 paper size, A4 paper size, B4, and many more sizes. Okay, you can see banner size, and let's say we click on this banner size and let's see how it looks. Okay, we can say ensure it fit to content, and you can see how our slides actually changed completely to this. And I think this kind of fun, even though it doesn't make sense, but at least just for you to know that you can change your slides to any kind of size of your liking, and depending on what kind of screen you want to show the slides on, you can easily temper with the sizes and you can arrange it according to your liking. So let's say we do Ctrl+Z at this point also to get back to where we are at the initial point. So we can come back again to the custom size, and we can change it to different kind of sizes according to what we want. Okay, you can even do custom size. If you don't want all these selections, all these predefined sizes, you can also come to custom selection, and you will define your width. You can make it, maybe this is 27 centimeter, you can make it maybe 50 centimeter by maybe 15 centimeter. So you can click on OK, and you can say fit to content, and you can see it has changed completely and on all the pages. All right, so this is just key ways on how to change your slide sizes. And if you're certain or you're comfortable with the size, this is the size you need for the device that you're going to deliver the presentations on, you don't actually have to keep on consistently changing the sizes anytime you want to make a slide for that video or for that device. You don't have to continuously be battling with sizes. What size, what width, what height am I targeting? You can actually make this your template. Okay, you can make this your template, and you can easily apply that as your own theme, and you can apply it on each and every presentation that you are targeting for that particular device. So let's try to do this. Let's try to check out how to make this size one of our themes that we can save for future use. So to do that, all you need to do is to still stay on the design tab, but then you can come all the way to themes over here. You can click on this drop down, and you can see many more themes that you can take a look and try to use and customize your work. But at the bottom of them all, you can see save current theme. If you want to save this current theme, you can easily save it. You can click on save, and by default it's going to bring you to the custom theme saving folder, custom theme folder of Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is where all the themes that you see in this PowerPoint are located, and you can save your theme over here just like that. You can just give it a name, and maybe you can call it my theme 1. You can call it my theme 1, and you can just save it. And anytime you refer back, you want to check out on your themes and you want to bring in a theme to correlate in terms of the sizes and all, you can easily move to that, and you can see it over here. You can easily browse for themes, and you can bring it in to your presentation. You can easily browse and bring it into your presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, this is just a bit on how to change slide size in Microsoft PowerPoint. Feel free to try it. Feel free to try to change it according to the presentation that you want to deliver, and see the effect or the impact. You can test the device even before you deliver the presentation to the public. You can change the size, test it on the device before you go on public to deliver your presentation. In this video tutorial, I want to share with you how to add a timer to your presentation. This is not the ordinary timer that you used to get when you are presenting your seminars or any kind of workshop. This is different timer. So for example, the normal timer that maybe people might be expecting is when you are on the presentation mode. So assuming this is my PowerPoint slides, and this is from these slides, I want to go into presentation mode. I come to this icon at the bottom over here where I press F5 to start my presentation. Maybe when I'm on the presenter mode, I will be able to see this timer at the top left over here, but this is not the timing I'm referring to. Maybe this timer can give you the amount of time you have spent presenting, but in this case I want to attach a timer that maybe during the presentation at some point I may want my students to be able to take some quiz or to answer a question, and I will just give them some seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. So assuming at the last stage of the presentation, before I say thank you, I would like to have a new slide over here, and I would like to have a simple question to them. So assuming at the end of the class I have a class quiz that I want to give to the students, and it's just a simple question, and each student will be given a total of 5 seconds to answer. So I want to design that kind of timer that you can use to sensitize the student, or to just from mere flashing your slide, the student can have an idea into how much time he has and when the time is up. So to do this, all you need to do is you need a text box and you need some animations. Okay, so to add a text box, we just come all the way from home and we can come to the drawing tab over here, and you can see a text box. You just click on this and you can click and drag over here and you have your text box. So what we need here is to just add a number. So let's say we're adding a number 1, and we just select it. And we reduce the sizing, for example, of the text box. We just double click to select the number, and we can increase the sizing. So what we can do that from here or from the top over here. You can increase the size from here, from this font tab. So let's say we are doing from here by just selecting. You have this brought up. You can use this to increase. Okay, so you can increase accordingly. So let's say we have it at this 115, so it's visible. Okay, so but to make it much more visible, we want to change the background of the text. So we can come over here. As soon as we set the double click on it, we can see the shape format over here, and we can change the shape fill over here, and let's say we give it a simple background, maybe something like dark green, and the text needs to make it much more visible, we need to change the text fill. Okay, so like right now we can make it to something like white, and you can see it's kind of clearly visible. Okay, so let's try to make it a little bit smaller and widen the text box. So let's say we try to center it. We just select it and center it from here, and you can see it's now centered. Okay, so the next thing we can do is to try to duplicate this very text box. So we just select it and do Ctrl C to copy, and then we do Ctrl V to paste, until we have maybe, let's say, about 5 of those numbers that we want. So let's say we try to separate, and you can see, so the first one is going to be 1, the second one we're going to change it to be 2. Just change the text to be 2, and change this text to be 3, change this one to be 4, and change this last one to be 5. Alright, so we have them 5 equal sizing of the text boxes, and it's equal font style and all. So we just select the 5th one. So let's start with the 5th one. We just select it, and we can come to the animation tab over here. From the top ribbon, you can see animations. You can come all the way to this drop down. You can see series of entrance, emphasis, and exit options. Okay, so let's say we are going with exit options, and we specify the first one. Let's say we take it. Okay, this is the disappear. We took disappear, so we'll go with disappear for this case. So we just say disappear, and then we can go to the second one. We do the same. We just assign disappear to it. Okay, disappear, and then we go to the third one, which is 3, letter 3. We put disappear as well, and then we go to the fourth one. We equally put disappear. All right, the same thing goes with the first one or the 5th. Okay, we put this up here also. So this is the arrangement. The next thing is to add the last part of the animation. Okay, so we can come to the same animation, we can come all the way down to the timing option over here. So at the fifth one, we just make sure we have the start menu as on click, and then we have the duration as auto, but we can have this set to 0 if you want, but then we can set it to 1 second, and then we can go to the next one, which is the 4. Then this one we want to set it to after the previous. Okay, it should disappear after the previous, and then we want to put the duration as auto, and then we want to put the delay as maybe 1 second. So we can go to 3 and do the same, start on after previous, and then we can make it just 1 second, 1 second, and then we can go to letter 2, and then we can make it start after previous, and then the same way we put it as 1 second. And then we can go to the first one, which is the number 1. We can start after previous as well, automatic, and then make it 1 second. Right, this is the delay. So let's try to see generally whether we are right or not by just coming to remaining on animation, and we can come to the animation pane to just have an idea of whether the arrangement we've just put in is correct or not. You can see from the animation pane that showcases the position. So we just click, and we can see from the animation pane that we have, it looks like we are currently right, because it will start with the letter 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can see the arrangement, one comes after the other. Okay, so let's try to play it and see whether we are right. Let's go to the slide mode by just coming over here. We go to slideshow mode, and on click, if you remember, it's going to be letter number 5 that is going to start disappearing. So on click, we just wait 1 second and it disappears, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. So which means we are perfectly right. Since we have confirmed we are correct, the next thing we need to do, we may need to overlap them. So let's say this is 1, we can bring in 2 on top of it. We just bring 2 and put it on top. We can bring 3 on top of 2, and then we can bring 4 on top of 3, and then we can bring in 5 on top of 4. We can just highlight and select all, and then we can come to the edge and drag and move them as a single entity, but we've not grouped them, so it's just move them accordingly. So let's try to see, for example, let's try to go to the slideshow mode and just click on it, and on click it's going to start the counter. On click you can set 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, finish. So for example, what this means is we are going to start the quiz, and what is now is a quiz, and you have 5 seconds class. So start, your time starts now. Stop. Okay, your time up. If you like, you can do one with stop if you want, you can do that, but then this is just a bit about how to create timer, how to add a timer to your PowerPoint slide to make your presentation interactive. And maybe you have a quiz, or you have any kind of assignment, or you are going on break, you can make it static, you can insert timer to it and make the experience worthwhile. In this video, I want to share with you how to make the subscriber count that you can show to your audience. Maybe during your video, you can show a countdown of your subscribers, so that maybe on your way to 1,000 subscribers, or on your way to 2,000 or 100,000 subscribers. So to do that, I'm going to use this software, Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, so all you need to do is to open your Microsoft PowerPoint by just coming to the start menu and type in Microsoft PowerPoint, or you just type PowerPoint, and you can see it over here, and just click on it to open. So once you open, you're here. The next thing is to come to insert, and you can come to shapes over here and click on it, and you can come to this rectangle, just click and then just drop it, and you can copy and paste to have it duplicated. Right, so on this one you can make the color to be red. On the first one you can check the fill to make it red color, and on this one you can change it to white. But then you need to write the subscribers. Okay, so let's say we write subscribers, and we can select, and maybe come to home and increase the sizing. so that it can a bit fill up the spaces. Okay, so maybe we can center it to the left. So we have the option to put this, and we can reduce the sizing. So we have subscribers, we select, we can thicken it, maybe you can bold it so it kind of looks cool. And then over here you can double click to enable the format, and you can come all the way to text fill and make it white. So we can put the text over here, and then we can put it, maybe you are getting to 1000, maybe from 990. So we select, because everything is white right now, so we have to change the text color to black. Okay, so let's change it to black. So you have 990 subscribers, so let's increase the size. So this is 990 subscribers, and we want to get it to 1000. Okay, and we're getting it to 1000. Right, so we have this. We can select both of them and do Ctrl G to group them. All right, so we can kind of copy this slide, and we can duplicate it, duplicate, but then in the first one we have to put it at 991, for example. So we are getting to 1000. 992, for example. Next one we'll put it at 993. All right, so we'll do the same until 1000 subscribers. All right, so we have it done from 990 to 1000 subscribers. Okay, so once you have everything arranged over here, you have each one from 91, 91, 91, 991, 992, 993 up to 1000 subscribers. So all you need to do is to come over to file over here. You can come to export, and you come to create a video. Okay, you create a video, and then you can specify the number of seconds each slide is going to. So you can just specify, you can use 4K, Full HD, 720. So let's go with 720 at this point, and then you can specify the number of seconds on each slide. So right now it's set to 5 seconds. We can bring it down to maybe 1 second, or thereabout, or we'll say 0.5. Right, 0.5 seconds. So you just specify the seconds. I think 0.5 can be quite good, so you just click on create video, and you specify the location. This is going to be an MP4 video, so you specify the location. Let's say we are saving it here on our videos, and just click on save, and it has saved it. So we can navigate to that location where it has saved. You can see it over here. So once we double click to watch it, let's see how it looks. So you can see the timing as it is increasing, okay, to 1000 subscribers. Okay, you can see it is increasing up to 1000 subscribers. So you can put this actually on your video, so you can have it as part of your video. You can link it up. So to put it on the video, you have to change the background from the white background to green background. So you just right click anywhere and just come to format background, and then you can change this from white color to purely green. So when you put it on green, easily you can remove the background when you are on any kind of software, maybe Camtasia or any other software. You can easily remove this background and add this subscriber count to your video. Okay, so this is just a bit on how to create the subscriber count. Maybe when you are making your own video and you want to show to your audience that you're quickly getting to 1000 subscribers, but you want to click into play from 990,000 to 1000. So you can easily play this, and you can easily play that video, and so you can follow up to the 1000. You can easily drag and drop it to your video. In this tutorial, I want to share with you my top 20 keyboard shortcuts that I use in Microsoft PowerPoint. So to start with, the first shortcut key is the F5, which can turn you into the presentation mode. for most people, when you have a PowerPoint slide, for you to start your presentation, some have to come down to this small icon over here, and you just click to start your presentation, to start your slideshow. And alternatively, you can come to slideshow, and then you can go over from the beginning to start the slideshow. So to do this, the easiest way is just wherever you are, you just press on F5, and it's going to kickstart the presentation immediately. Alternatively, you can start from current slide by just clicking on Shift then F5. Okay, Shift F5 will get you started in the current slide. So another shortcut key that you can use while you are on the presentation mode is usually the Enter key can take you to the next slide. Once you press on Enter, it will take you to the next slide. Once you move the arrow to move forward, once you use the forward arrow, it's going to take you to the next slide. Especially as you are moving, it's going to move you to the next slide. Or you can press the space bar and it's going to take you forward to the next slide. Alternatively, you can do the arrow, backward arrow, to take you backward, or one step at a time backward. Or you can do the up arrow to take you back one step at a time. Okay, so you can remain on the keyboard and you can still walk transit between one slide to another using this little shortcut. Spacebar, forward arrow, Enter key, and all can take you forward. Backward key or the up key can take you backwards. So you just try to master that. At any point in time, if you want to go to a given slide while you're presenting, all you need to do is to press the number and the Enter key. Okay, number and the Enter key. For example, I want to go to slide 6. I just press on 6 and then the Enter. It's going to bring me to slide 6. I want to go to slide 4. I just press 4 and hit Enter, and it's going to bring me to slide 4. So alternatively, what if you don't know the slide numbers while you are presenting, but you want to see a preview before you can decide where you want to move to the next one? What is the next slide, or what is slide 4? You don't even know. You can do that by pressing Ctrl S to pop up the all slides menu, so you can see these are slides number 1 to number 7, and you can easily navigate to which slide. For example, I want to go back to slide number 1, and you can just hit on Enter and you are on slide number 1. So Ctrl plus S will bring you the slide, will pop up the entire slide so you can see it, and you can move to slide 5 easily without you hitting the number, because you might not know what is that number or what is the next number, for example. So, or you are being asked to go back to that slide that contains this title, you can easily go back by using that control. So in cases when you are presenting and you don't want your audience to see the next slide, you want to keep them at suspense, you can always press the B button so that you can black the screen. You can just press B to black the screen, and you can press B again to bring back the screen. So if you want them to pause now, not to look at you, not to look at the screen, and to just look at you and concentrate on you, you just hit on the B tab and the whole thing is going to be off, and you can hit on the B tab again to bring it back. Alternatively, you can use the full stop and it will pause it with black, and you can use full stop again, it will open it for you. Or if you don't want black screen, you can use W to bring it to whiten everything, to make everything appear white, and you can press W again to come back. Or you can use the comma again to take you to white, and comma to come back. So these are key shortcuts that you can actually use to navigate around very easily. Next is enabling the virtual laser pointer. You can enable virtual laser pointer by just clicking on Control and clicking on the mouse button. Okay, and you can see the laser pointer right now. You can move it around to showcase a given important point. You can just use the Control and the mouse button to just navigate around, and you can show your point. You can show this 25% personnel cost. So very easily you can use the laser pointer to navigate around with just Control and the left mouse click. When you press on Ctrl P, it will enable you to draw on the slide. Ctrl P will enable you to draw on the slide. So let's say we press on Ctrl P while you're presenting, and you will be able to, it will turn your mouse into a writer or a pen to write, and you can see you can write very easily. You can explain some concept as you are delivering your presentation. So Ctrl plus P can trigger this, and Ctrl plus P will trigger it back to your mouse icon back again. Control I will enable the highlighter. Okay, so Control I, you can use the highlighter. You can see I've just enabled the highlighter with Control I, and you can press Control I again to disable it. Okay, and your mouse icon is back to normal. These are some of the key features or key shortcuts that you can have while you're presenting your PowerPoint. In cases when you are writing or you are preparing the PowerPoint slide, there are a number of shortcut keys also that are one of the best I enjoy using while I'm writing. So let's try to have a look at some of them and let's see what you can do. For example, so assuming I'm writing on this and I hold Control B before start writing, Control B will bold the content that I'm going to write right now. So let's say, okay, so you can see it's bolded, and when I press Control B again, it's going to unbold the next text that I'm going to write. You can see it, right? So Control B does the magic. In the same way, Control I is going to italize the content I'm going to write. So let's say Control I, and I want to write again. Notice that when I press Control I again, it's going to go back to normal. These are the two key shortcuts, Control I and Control B, that you can use to move. Additionally, you can use Control U to underline the content as well. So let's say Control U and let's write something. You can use Control U again to remove the underline. So Control U again. So at any given point when you are satisfied with the content, you can always press Control Q to save the work you are doing on the PowerPoint and exit. Okay, so Control Q will save and exit. So we'll say Control Q to save and exit. Okay, so it says save or don't save. Once you say save, it's going to save this and it's going to exit and close the PowerPoint slide. So Control Q does the magic, save and exit. And of course, the most common one is Control Z to undo certain features. Okay, Control Z, and Control Y will redo that action accordingly. It will redo it for you. Control Y and Control Z. Next, if you have multiple PowerPoint slides and you may wish to navigate around them, you can use the Control plus Tab to navigate between two PowerPoint presentations. So Control plus Tab, you can enable you to navigate between two PowerPoint presentations, and you can always come over to this one and you can see it. Or if you want to have another one, for example, you can check out this concept note and you can see a different slide. All right, so Control plus Tab will enable you to switch between two presentations. Usually after everything, you always press Control S to save. It's a very easy and common way to save your content with Control S. Alternatively, you can press Control W also to close the entire PowerPoint presentation. So Control W can close the entire PowerPoint presentation just like that we've just closed it. You can open it later on, but then Control W will close any PowerPoint presentation that you have already opened on your desktop. Alright, so we are at the shortcut key number 19, which is Control M, which will enable new slide. Okay, so once you are on this slide and you need to start a new slide, you just press on Control M to start a fresh blank slide. Okay, this is a fresh slide. Control M will give you a fresh slide, and whenever you want to duplicate a given slide, for example, you want to duplicate this slide, you can just select it and do Control D and it will duplicate it for you. Control D to duplicate that slide, or you can select quite a number of them. For example, you can select 2 slides and you can say duplicate and it's going to make it 4. So you can do that to as many slides as you can and to as many content as you can. So ladies and gentlemen, these are my top 20 shortcut keys for Microsoft PowerPoint. Feel free to try it and enjoy your time with the keyboard and away from the mouse, because it saves time and it makes working on a computer much fun. In this video, I want to share with you how to insert a screenshot of different kind of documents into your Microsoft Word, Excel and PowerPoint. if you look into the previous videos I've made about screen capture, you can see that I usually use the snipping tool to take in my screenshot, and once you just enable it, even though it has been greatly improved, you can just use the screen capture and you can just capture any point, and you can save it or you can copy it and paste it to anywhere you like. But in today's video, I want to share with you an inbuilt screen capture that comes in with Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Word and Excel. Okay, so let's try it and see how we can take screenshots of our documents. This is our Microsoft PowerPoint. We can come to fresh slide over here, for example. Come to a fresh slide, and let's say we want to insert the same thing, and you can see over here we have it, insert screenshot. We just click on this and we can say screen clipping, and let's say we want to capture this very place, and we can just come back and open the PowerPoint, screenshot, and then screen clipping. We just click on this and we have to select the place where we want to capture. Okay, so you select here and you can see it has just captured it and inserted it for you. So this is the easiest way to use it. I think it's kind of faster than the other one, and even the resolution is very good compared to snipping tool. You can easily use this to kind of quickly access different kind of screenshots and images and bring it into your presentations or document writing. Alright, so the first add-in we are going to consider today is the Pixels add-in. This is a very powerful add-in that you can use to bring in photos, fantastic photos with high resolution into your presentations. So generally, to bring in an add-in into PowerPoint or any of the Microsoft Office platforms, all you need to do is to start by coming to Insert, and you come all the way to Get Add-ins. Over here, you click on Get Add-ins, and then you should make sure you're on the store here. Then you just come over here and search the particular add-in you're looking for. So for this, our first case, let's type Pixels. Once we type Pixels and hit enter, it's going to bring us Pixels free stock photos. So you just click on add, you hit on this, and then you can agree and just continue. And you can see Pixels is added over here. Okay, so all you need to do is to click on it and to open the Pixels add-in here. To start by searching any kind of photo from any kind of area of your interest. So let's say we are going to search for something related to research. You hit on enter, and then you wait until it browses, and then you can see a bunch of images that you can use to actually showcase research directly. So let's say we are going for something like this. You just click on it and it's going to add it directly into your PowerPoint slide. So you can click on it and you can move it around, you can resize it to your liking, and you can do all sort of things with it. Once you are done, or you need to add more, you can still come over and add more here. You can resize as well and put it by the side. Okay, so various type of images. You can bring qualitative images that can add different value and meaning to your presentations. You can bring them in using this Pixels add-on. It's completely free. So the next add-on that I find very interesting and also extremely important is the QR for Office. This is very useful when you are creating QR codes or barcodes for your documents, maybe your pictures. Maybe you want to put in your details, contact details, you want to put in your website. You can easily use the QR code for ease of scan and migration to that particular location. So people can use it to scan and get to your destination, maybe your email, you scan and get your details, scan and get your other details easily. So to get QR for Office is the same way. Okay, so you just come to Insert, come over straight to Get Add-ins, and then you can come over here and type QR for Office and hit enter, and you can see it over here. You just click on Add and continue, and there you have it. So the first thing you should look into is you can put in website, or you can click on this drop down menu to see the complete list. You can put in websites, you can put in emails, you can put in telephone number or SMS, geographical locations, or you can customize it to your liking. And once you're done, you can put in the direction here. Assuming I want it to go to Epic Mentorship, This is our website, epicmentorship.org. So down over here, you can change the coloration. You can put in this color and you can change the background if you want. Once you're done, you can increase the size or decrease accordingly. It's 100 by 100, and you can increase or decrease the error correction over here. So once you're done and satisfied with it, you just click on insert and you have your QR code, which you can play around, resize and do anything. And this code is scannable by any kind of QR scanning machine, be it your phone or any application on your computer. The next add-in, also interesting, is the to-do list. You can come to insert easily, come over to get add-ins, or if you have done it, if you have it already, like now I have this to-do list on my PowerPoint. So all I need to do is to come over to my add-ins and you'll see it in the list. Look at it down here, to-do list. So you click on it to activate it. Click on it and then you come over here and click on add, and you just add it just like that. So you can bring in a name list, can enter any name. Maybe you can say make video. Okay, I'm putting, so you have a bunch of them that you can always add, and once you are through with a particular task, you can always check off and need to strike it through and then bring it to the bottom, and then you need to bring the next one on top. If you are done, also you can check off and need to bring it down and check it off and then bring the next one. And you can easily remove by clicking on this star button. It will remove it for you. You can put in as many as you want, from here. So this is going to help you. To be very much productive, and you'll be focused on what tasks you have at hand and how you can get them completed. The next add-in that I found very interesting and useful also is the break time add-in. Maybe during your seminar, you are delivering a presentation, you want to bring in a timer, you want to go for a break, maybe of 5 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes and refreshment break. 5 minutes, and then you want to put in a timer so that your viewers or your audience cannot get distracted. They will keep on time and know how much time you have. Break time add-in can really help you during your presentation. So to add in break time, all you need to do is to do the same thing. You come to insert, you go to add-ins, you insert the same way. If you have it already, like now I already have it, you can just click and you can see it over here, break time. So you click on it and you click on add, and it will just add in break time. The default is 10 minutes. You can reduce it, you can make it 5 minutes, or you can make it 2 minutes according to your liking. And then what kind of break are you going? Is it a coffee break and it will load a cup of coffee for you? Is it a reading break? We're going on a reading break, maybe you read something and come back. Or are we going on a tea break? So whichever type of break you are going, it can easily put in the sign for you, and once you hit on start, it will start, countdown will start. Okay, so you have this much time to finish up your tea, then return back to the class and then you continue. You can stop it as well if you want, and you can reset it to 5 minutes if you want. You can put in different kind of timing over here. The last and most important add-in that I find is the PhET simulations. This is very fantastic for science students and those who do mathematical simulations. They can easily use it to teach their students on different kind of simple simulations for ease of understanding in your subjects. So to get PhET simulations, all you need to do is to come over the same way, come to insert, go to get add-ins, and then if you already have it, like now I already have it, so you can come over and check on PhET Science add-in. It's a free, fun, interactive simulations for science and math instructions. Okay, so you can just click on it and then click on add. So there are a bunch of simple simulations that you can see, from acid-base solutions, how do they react and how you can use it to teach your students, to area builder, area model algebra. You can see a lot of them. Area model multiplication, you can do all this. You can do a lot many more, so many things that you can do. Capacitor lab basics, what is capacitor and how does it operate? You can see the basics here. You can see color vision. You can see different kind of simulations that you can use to teach your students very basic science stuff. So let's try to look at one of them and see what happens. How does it behave? So let's look at concentration. You just click on it, and so this is what your solution change color as you mix chemicals with water. You mix different kind of chemicals with water. then you will see how the solution changes. Okay, you can measure concentration. So this is the water that you have. You can increase the evaporation if you want, and you can put in different kind of solute into it. And this is your tap. You can increase more water. You can reduce the water from here by clicking. It will reduce. If you want to bring in different solutes, you can bring in, this is drink mix. You can click to have it drop the solute inside it, or you can bring in solution. You can put in any solution. You can come into this drop down and you can bring in maybe potassium dichromate. Maybe let's say we have potassium dichromate inside this, and then once we click, it will add it to the solution, and see it quickly immediately change the coloration of the water. You can increase evaporation rate if you want, and you can see as you are increasing, the water is coming down also. You can put in more potassium dichromate, or you can bring in another different chemical. Maybe we'll put in nickel 2 chloride. You put in and let's see what happens. Okay, how the solution changes. If you're not comfortable, you can bring in more water, maybe to neutralize the solution, or you can get the concentration at any given point within the fluid. For example, you can drag in and put it here, and you can see the concentration directly, or you can move it to any location all over the fluid. Because it's uniform, it's the same concentration. So you can, this is just like a concentration meter. You can use it to know the actual concentration, and as you are bringing in more of the solution, the solute, the concentration is changing. You can see same thing. You can bring in copper sulfate or potassium permanganate. Once you click, it changes, and the concentration also changes. Same way, as you increase, concentration changes. So same way, this is very, very interesting, and I find it very, very fantastic for students to use it to learn basic operations in science and mathematics. A lot of simulations are there for ease of teaching. This can work either on the slide here or on the presentation mode. Anyone can work. You can just bring in water. You can reduce the water if you want. Okay, the solution can go out, and you can bring in any chemical as you are delivering the lecture to your students. In today's video, I want to share with you how to make GIF files, something like this, or GIF files, something like this, something like a video, but it's continuous and it's highly weightless. You can insert it in your presentations as a continuous video that can play continuously and consistently, something like this. So to create something like this, or a GIF file or a GIF file, all you need to do is to move to your Microsoft PowerPoint. When you kickstart it, you will have these images placed on different slides. So for example, we have the first image of Tom and Jerry. You know, they are very funny friends. Sometimes they are together happily, just like in the first slide. And on another slide, you can see them together enjoying something, and then the next minute they are into it, and you know, the fight gets worse, and then they are into their business as usual. So maybe I try to put in some call outs. So let's say we'll try to put in some call outs from here. All right, we can write something. You can just bring it out and just write a little about this togetherness. So we can add in a text just by coming over here and clicking on text, and then we could just put it. Enjoying the moment, we can select and enjoying the moment. We can copy the whole thing, and then we can paste it here and put another story. Put it here and put in something still together. Maybe in the last one we can put something like try harder boy. So this is our call out that we have, and we can put in anything. We can try to put in some animation also to make it a little bit much more captivating. So for example, we can put this to be flying in, and this one also to be flying in, and we can put in this one to bounce a little bit. So we can put in this one to kind of grow and turn. So once you are complete, you make sure you have all the slides ready, maybe with these call outs. So the next thing is you should come back to the home and make sure everything is intact. You can go straight to file over here, and then you can come over to export. Once you come to export, then you come to create an animated GIF. Create an animated GIF, you click on it. Then you have the option to create either a small file size and low quality. Usually 240p is quite low, so you can put in at the largest file size, which is full HD quality, and it's usually about 1080p at 24 frame rates per second, so it's quite good. So we'll put it as the largest file size. You can make the background transparent, and over here you can specify how many seconds each slide should spend. So 1 second is quite good, we can leave it at 1 second, and then you can see it can move from slide 1 to slide 4. Okay, so we can just over here create the GIF file. So it will ask us to specify the location where we want it saved. So for example, we can say GIF demo, and we specify the location, we just save it. So as usual, it doesn't take much time and it's done. So you can navigate to that particular folder and you will be able to open it directly. So let's try to open it here. This is our folder that we just created, GIF demo. Okay, enjoying still together as usual. Try harder, boy. Yeah, so you can see this is the GIF file and is continuously playing. You can insert this to your website, you can insert this to your video, you can insert it to your Microsoft presentation during Microsoft PowerPoint during your presentation. You can insert it as a very simple video that can play consistently in your presentation or in your website, as the case may be. So this is just a brief on how to create the GIF file using Microsoft PowerPoint. In this video, I want to share with you how to get and use the Microsoft PowerPoint Office 365 for free. So usually when you have the Microsoft Office on the desktop 365 version, that's when you have to pay. But if it is online, it's free for everyone. As far as you have a Microsoft account, you can use it free of charge. So for today, all you need to do is to start by coming to office.com, and you can see the sign in over here and get Office. So sign up for free version of Office once you are going to use it on the web. So you can sign up if you don't have a Microsoft account. But if you have a Microsoft account, or you have any account with Live or Outlook, you can easily come over here and sign in to register. Okay, if you don't have, just create one, follow the process, sign up for a free Office account, and you can sign in. And let's meet at the other side, because I have just gotten mine and I will sign in with it, so we can see what we can do in terms of Microsoft PowerPoint. So here we are on my platform. I've just logged in. Okay, so you can come all the way, you can see the different kind of products that you can have access to once you log in using the web version of the Microsoft Office 365. So to come up to the PowerPoint over here, which is our main target for today, you can have a bunch of options to start with. You can have series of templates, you can check out more templates, and you can see a lot of them over here, and you can choose anyone to start your content, to start writing your content from it. Okay, so you can use this droplet, for example, because I think it kind of looks cool because of the water nature of it. Okay, you can see the droplets of water. So you can click to add title, you can click to add subtitle. So for example, let's say presentation mastery, and let's say by Dr. Rashid. Okay, so this is just a simple slide. If you like, you can duplicate this slide by just right clicking and say duplicate slide, or you do Control D and you can duplicate slide, or you can right click and bring in new slide. Just say right click and bring in new slide, just like the way you do on the normal desktop version of PowerPoint. And you can see also you can come over from the top here, you can bring in different slide. Okay, you can insert different slide using different kind of arrangement or different kind of version. You can see depending on what kind of message do you want to send to your audience. So here we are at the home tab, and you have a bunch of things that you can play around with. You can play around with different kinds. You can hide a slide. You can check the layout also from here. You can search different kind of sample presentations. You can search from among your presentations and bring in any kind of slide that you want from there. And you have the option to play around with the text features. Okay, you can play around with the text. You can select it. You can change the different kind of styles. Okay, you can play around with different kind of font styles, and you can have different kind of font sizes. You can increase or decrease accordingly. You can increase or decrease the font sizes. You can bold, you can italize, you can do quite so much here. So over here you have the alignment ratio, alignment controls. You can align left, align center, and even justify directly. You have the other features like changing of color. You can change the color of the text box, or you can change the color of the background. To change the color of the background of the slide, you can just right click and you can come to designer, and you can see different kind of designs that you can actually choose from. Okay, you can see a bunch of them. You can click to see more in cases if you are not so comfortable with this. So based on what you have, based on the message you are going to send, the designer is going to select or is going to make a default slide for you, so you can choose from. I think this one kind of looks cool even though it's black, so it will just take effect and you can see it. Or you're free to change to anyone. You can change to this one, Presentation Mastery by Dr. Rashid, and you have the option at the insert menu. You could do quite so much. You can create new slides, you can reuse slides, you can bring in tables, just like we've explained. You can bring in pictures. For example, you have a picture. Maybe you want to bring in a picture, you can select all these and you should Control A and maybe delete all this, and you can bring in your picture. You can insert a table, or you can bring in a picture from this device or from OneDrive or from stock images. You can check it from stock images. Okay, you have a bunch of them, so you feel free to check. So you can check according to your message, and you just choose one and paste it, and we bring it in. So for example, this one, I like this, and we can just say insert, and you can just resize it accordingly. Okay, you have it. You can bring in some text box. You can insert some text box. You can bring in some text box. Let's say you can bring in this, and you can say, and you can do Control A to select the text, and you come back to the home tab and you can play it with the, let's say we make it this bold, and you can increase the sizing as well. You can make it fit, and you can easily drag and drop over here, so you can say together we can. Okay, this is what it signifies, and I think it kind of looks cool. You can do all sort of insert. You can insert even word art from here. You can maybe create a new slide, and you can insert word art. For example, you can insert word art with different kind of features. So you can see the word art we've just inserted. The SmartArt, you can decide to put in text messages over here. You can just select and you can put in the text message accordingly. So for example, you can have step 1, you can rename it to be step 1, step 3, and many more. Okay, so you can put in step 4 and you can put step 5, and you can just delete these ones. For example, we don't need this, and maybe we don't need this as well. Okay, so you can see a preview of it. You can see step 1 to 5, and easily you can bring in this. So you can bring in so much more: header and footer, comments. You can bring in text, message, symbols. You can insert symbols. Over here you have the draw options. You can use pencils. You have different kind of coloration as well as the thickness you can play around with. So once you select it, you can easily come over here and write with it, and you can have the marker also. You can have pen also to write with, and you can use the eraser to clean up. Okay, you have a bunch of designs that you can check around with. You can check the slide size. Right now is the widescreen. We can change it to standard, or you can customize to your liking. You can check the background and change the fill. Okay, you can change the fill if you want. You can change the background and change fill. Okay, you can change it to this fill. Okay, I think kind of looks cool, so you're free to check it around and play around with it. You can check the designer also. We've shown how to use it. You have a bunch of transitions that you can put when you come to move from one slide to another. So for example, you are moving from this slide. Let's put to this drop in, moving to this slide. Let's say push, and let's say to this slide we can have wind, and let's say to this slide we can have this switch. Okay, so let's try to play the slideshow and see what it looks like. So just the transition part. So you can see the starting once you have the text. So let's see the next transition. Okay, this is it. So let's see the next transition. Okay, you can see the transition, and you can see this one as well. That's the transition. You can check out the options over here to as regards the entrance, maybe from left to right or right to left. You can change the duration and apply to all or to some given slides. Okay, so you can check out animations. Once you select a particular slide, you can see the options. You have different kind of animations. You can fly in, you can do random bars, and you can check out emphasis on different points, and you can have different kind of exit options over here that you can select from. Okay, you have a bunch of slideshows. You have a bunch of slideshows that you can actually, okay, so you can come to slideshow. You can begin from beginning, or you can start from a current slide, or you can present in themes and always use subtitles if you want. Okay, so you have the location of the subtitle, and you have the spoken language or subtitle language in different kind of language. You can see it over here. All right, so you feel free to try it and select accordingly. You can even rehearse with coach to check your body language. Coach settings, you can change the coach settings and target certain kind of things that the coach should pay attention to while you deliver your speech. Okay, you can check out review when you are reviewing a project or a report or a manuscript, and you can check the view, and you have the immersive reader and many other. You can fit to windows. You can, okay, so feel free to try it. Immersive reader is quite fantastic. I use it quite a lot, and it enables you to have a very good view of the Microsoft PowerPoint, and you can have the computer dictate the content of the slide for you. Okay, so feel free to try it and explore it. So you can have the immersive reader read the different kind of steps for you. So for example, we have step 1 to 5, and we want the immersive reader to read it for the computer to read for us.
Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Okay, so you can change the font size. Text preferences, right now the size is quite big. You can reduce it accordingly or increase it accordingly. Okay, you can change the font type, and you can increase the spacing if you want. You can change the themes. Right now is the normal white theme. You can change the theme, and you can change the show source formatting, and you can come over here and change and show grammar options. You can enable to see noun, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. You can change the view to from a single line to maybe 3 lines of text when reading, or to complete 5 lines of text when reading from the computer. Okay, you can select language to translate. You can easily translate this content. So this is one of the key features or beauty of immersive reader. You can enable it, and you can just have an experience of it. Okay, so one of the key features of this also is that you can share and collaborate with others while you present, and you can bring in, as after you finish your editing, you can save your content as a PDF, as a copy of PowerPoint within your document, and you can export it as a PDF or as an ODP or as images into your content. So ladies and gentlemen, feel free to try this for your content, and you can easily rename it from here. Maybe you can name it demo 2 or 3, for example, .ppt. All right, and once you hit enter, it takes in that as a name of the content. So feel free to try it, explore it, and try to see what you can do as regards your presentation depending on the topic of your content. Just feel free to start using it. It's free of charge, and you can always save the content on your desktop and open it in Microsoft PowerPoint. Alright, so the first tip that I have for us today is actually how to use the present with a coach. And to use this feature, all you need to do is to come to slideshow over here, and you can navigate to rehearse with the coach. So it is welcoming you here to rehearse with the coach. Okay, so once you start rehearsing, you can allow this ticked to see real-time feedback as you are delivering the presentations. You can be seeing the feedback directly as you are delivering it. Or if you untick this, you're going to see the feedback at the end of your presentation. Okay, it is going to record everything we said and every feedback that it has as regards your presentation. But when you tick this very icon, it's going to give you real-time feedback, right? So let's say we start rehearsing, and let's see how it gives the feedback. This presentation is going to see, it's telling us that we are using too many, right? So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 strategies on how to reuse slides, picture fill, and the new feature called dictate. You see, it's telling you to avoid reading directly from the slides, because you've noticed that you are reading directly from the slides. Alright guys, this is a test on how the coach is being assessing our presentations. Okay, try varying the pitch and adding emphasis on keywords. So these are things that it's going to be giving you, and at the end of it all, you can see the result here. Okay, so these are direct feedbacks that the app is just giving you as regards your presentation. It gives you your pace, your pitch, your average pace over time, your summary in general, and your fillers. Okay, and then repetitive language. Whether you use any kind of language that is out of the box, it can give you that particular report. So this feature is quite handy for people who are interested in practicing and receiving feedback as they deliver presentations or speeches.